What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Rock and I'm back with another video for you. If you're new to my channel, go ahead, subscribe and hit that like button so that way you can receive notifications for all of my upcoming videos. Now today is not going to be anything spectacular, nothing too long. I'm just doing my week 3 picks for today. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. First up, we've got New Orleans versus Green Bay. Now, I expect this game to be great, especially with Aaron Rodgers slinging the ball the way he has. That man is on fire. The one thing about Green Bay is that Devontae Adams has been listed as questionable, so we're not quite sure if he's going to play. They're saying that that's going to be a game time decision. On the other side of the ball, Michael Thomas has been ruled out. However, I do not expect this game to go like the Raiders game, where they just were disastrous on both sides of the ball. That being said, I expect Drew Brees to lead his team to victory. So therefore, I have the Saints on top of the Packers, 28-24. Next up, we've got Dallas versus Seattle. And I have 3 words. Let Russ cook. So far, Pete Carroll has been doing just that, and it's turned out great for Seattle. That man is playing at an MVP level, no doubt about it. The one thing I will say is that the defense probably will take a little bit of a step back, especially since how they lost Bruce Irvin for the I'm not quite sure whether it's for the season or whether it's just for a substantial amount of time, but they did lose Bruce Irvin, so therefore they may take a little bit of a step back. However, I expect this to be like a high-scoring game, but overall, I've got Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks beating Green Bay 31-28. Next, we have the Bills versus the Rams. I expect this to be a defensive game. It's really going to be a battle of the defense because the offenses have been playing spectacular. However, I do have the Bills edging out the Rams due to the fact that they do, in my opinion, they have the better offense, and quite frankly, they have the better defense as well. There's a little bit of a question marks on the defensive side of the ball when it comes to the Rams, but overall, I've got the Bills coming out on top 27-24. Next up, you've got New England versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I expect the Raiders to put up some points due to the fact that Derek Carr is playing at a very high level, and he's got Darren Waller there as his security blanket. But overall, I expect Cam Newton and the Patriots to handle business, so therefore I've got them coming out on top 31-24. Next up, Atlanta versus Chicago. Now, Chicago has been playing, their defense, I would say, has been playing great. There's some questions on the offensive side of the ball due to the fact that, most people don't too much really trust Mitchell Trubisky all that well as the starting quarterback. However, I expect Atlanta to come out fast and not take their foot off the brakes. I do not expect that same meltdown that they had last week against Dallas. So with that being said, I got Dallas coming out on top of Chicago, 35-28. Next up, you've got Philly versus Cincinnati. When it comes to Philly, Carson Wentz has just been playing horrible. And it's not necessarily really all his fault. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not all his fault because his decision-making has just been horrific these past 2 games. But also, their wide receiving core has just been depleted by injuries. It's crazy the amount of injuries that they have just when it comes to the wide receivers. So with that being said, I expect Cincinnati and Joe Burrow to come out on top. Therefore, I've got them beating Philly 28-17. Next up, it's Pittsburgh versus Houston. When it comes to Houston, their offense has really been struggling. So therefore, if you ask me, I say they are really missing DeAndre Hopkins because they have just not been able to get anything going on the offensive side of the ball. Their defense really hasn't been playing all that great. Now, last week, J.J. Watts did have himself a good game, but overall, I do expect Pittsburgh to come out and just completely destroy Houston. Therefore, I've got Pittsburgh on top 30-19. Next up, we've got Cleveland versus Washington. Now, In this game, I just expect Cleveland to win. I believe that they're the better team both on offense and defense. Therefore, I've got them winning 28-14. The Giants versus San Francisco. San Francisco has been one of those teams that injuries have just taken over their team on both sides of the ball. You got Jimmy Garoppolo, who's not going to be playing, George Kittle, who's not going to be playing, Dee Ford's not going to be playing, Richard Sherman won't play, Raheem Mostert, Deebo Samuel, Solomon Thomas. I mean, with all those injuries, I just don't see them being able to really be too competitive, at least until George Kittle and Jimmy Garoppolo come back. So with that being said, I expect the New York Giants to come out and upset them 21-17. Next up, you've got the Minnesota Vikings versus the Tennessee Titans. Now, the Minnesota Vikings, it's just been sad watching them play, really, especially after all these last couple of years where their defense has been what has led the team. However, with this year, with the injury to Danielle Hunter, they're pretty much got nothing but rookies in at cornerbacks. It's been one hell of a ride for them. However, in this game, I do have them coming out on top 24-21 over the Tennessee Titans, just so they can avoid that 0-3 start. Therefore, I feel like the Vikings are a little bit more extra motivated to win this game than the Tennessee Titans. Next up, you have the Carolina Panthers versus the LA Chargers. It's no longer San Diego. I was about to say that. But the Chargers have a great defense. And with Carolina, with the injury to Christian McCaffrey, I really don't see anybody else who could actually help this team win the game. So with that being said, I've got the Chargers winning 31-17. Next up, you've got the Colts versus the Jets. Now, the Jets are pretty much the same as Philly. They've just been depleted with the wide receiving core. So with that being said, I've got the Colts beating them 35-17. Next up, Tampa Bay versus Denver. Denver, you've got injuries to Drew Lock. Sorry about that. Cortland Sutton is now out for the year. So I expect Denver to be good on defense. My question here is only going to be on offense. So with that being said, I got Tampa Bay on top of them 24-13. Next up, Detroit versus Arizona. Now, Kenny Galladay has been upgraded to questionable. And what we know about the NFL, questionable usually means that they will play. But Arizona has been playing great on both sides of the ball, both offense and defense. Their defense has took a step forward, especially with the upgraded players, and or should I say not upgraded players, but added players in which they put into there. So therefore, as I said, I expect Arizona to beat Detroit. I do expect this to be a high-scoring game. So therefore, I've only given Arizona the edge. I got them beating them 28-21. Next up is the game of the week. You have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, up until this point, Patrick Mahomes has gotten the best of the Baltimore Ravens. However, this year, I believe it is going to be a little bit different. The reason I say that is because last week, when the Kansas City Chiefs were playing the Chargers, as I said, the Chargers have a great defense, but that defense is nothing like the Baltimore Ravens defense. The Baltimore Ravens have a great defensive line and a great secondary. I mean, it's gonna be hard for Kansas City to move that ball. Now, so you can never count the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes out, because Patrick Mahomes is that man. That man is just ridiculous, the things in which he can do. Even when the team is down double digits, that man can somehow find a way to bring them back. However, in this game, I do have the Baltimore Ravens out on top due to the fact that that defense has been playing outstanding. They've got the #1 ranked defense, and their offense just pretty much picked up where they left off. And Lamar Jackson is incredible. That man evolves every year. He gets better and better. So with that being said, I got the Baltimore Ravens on top of the Kansas City Chiefs, 34-24. So that is now the end of this video. If you like my video, go ahead and comment. Also, if you're looking for ways to support the channel, I got my email and all my information down below. So go ahead and check that out. Also, as I said, like and subscribe. That's it. You guys have yourself a great football Sunday. Peace.